Good afternoon. Welcome back to PM with the Trigger. Rich Bontrager here with you today and giving you more insights. Why do we do this every single day? We're here to help you shine on camera, shine on stage, to elevate you and your brand authority. More and more, we're trying to figure out when the best time is to do one of these lives, like I do every day at 2 p.m., or to do maybe an interview show, or to do a training session. One of the most frequently asked questions I get, I have already had it as twice today, 3 times yesterday. When is the best time of the day to have your virtual events? Your live stream, your virtual, whatever it is, when is the best time to do this? Now, most of the time, we go right to the optics kind of. We kind of go to where are your people hanging out, which is a very valid question. You don't want to stop and think about where are they at. You want to also think about who is your audience, because depending on what platforms you want to reach, you may have more of a following, more of a strength. There may be more of those same familiar people hanging out in certain platforms, certain time of the day, than maybe at other times of the day or night. A lot of people do weekends for training, for courses. Now, we assume that's the best time, but is it the best time? So today I'm going to give you some answers, and you might be surprised a little bit by what I say here about this. When's the best time to have your event stream? Make no mistake about it. Live virtual training, this whole online world is only going to get bigger and bigger as the platforms get better and better. We have proven this works. New studies keep coming out about remote work, home offices, all this stuff. So this is never going away. So now we have to figure out when the most optimal time is to do one of your events. So let me look at this from, first of all, understanding your audience. It's essential you figure out your audience first. And if you haven't that nailed down yet, back up a little bit. Do more research, do some more investigation. Who is your audience? Who do you want to reach? What are their likes, their dislikes? When are their best optimal times to get critical mass together to go do something for training or whatever you've got in mind? So think about that. And geographically does matter, because we are now reaching globally. Like ever before, we have access to a global world. This is one of the best things we have. And Aaron, you're right. Boom. This is awesome that we get to reach globally now. We get to go around the world. There's no TSA, there's no bad food, there's no bad hotels. We get to literally beam around the world for our training events, for our workshops, for our live streams, the symposiums that we do. So you're now not just thinking about geographical, you're not just thinking about local time, you're thinking about impact of the best placement for your material around the world. Because you would love to have a live international world, wouldn't you? But again, replays are one of the most powerful things you do. Now you have to learn how to leverage replays as you reach around the globe. So let's get into this a little bit. What are some of those optimal times? The best way of thinking about this: mornings are an interesting time to do this. Mornings are when people are fresh. They're reading their paper, they're having a cup of coffee. Sometimes the kids are running out the door. But morning is, you don't have all that weight of the end of the day. You're not burnt out. You're not tired. You're not trying to rush home to get to the ball game. Mornings could be a great time, typically between that 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Now, it depends on what time zone you're in again, but that's going to be your optical time probably. They've already made it to the office, so they're kind of maybe relaxing, going through papers, shuffling things around, looking at their calendar. If you did a live, if you did some training in the morning, they may turn it on. Now, they may not put their cameras on, which I always love, but they're listening, they're participating. They may drop into the chat with you. So that 9 until 11 o'clock for morning, because you're beating the other competition. You're getting in there right away to start the day and say, look, I got something new. I got something great for you. And pay attention. So think about the morning. Does that serve your community? Does that serve you the best? However, the timing may not be suitable. Of course, the corporate office is probably going to go into meetings right away. So if you're in the executive space, like I spend a lot of time in that executive office, the C-suite office space, Mornings may not be the best because they are running the office, dropping down. They got to go to a meeting before the meeting. We've all had those, right? The meeting before the meeting. So think about that. If you're reaching into the corporate places, maybe the morning might not be the best. Now, lunchtime, I'm a big fan of lunchtimers. I do special events for Rock the Stage show. We just did one a couple weeks ago on a Friday. We had our superheroes dress up from London. We had Wonder Woman. We had Superman. We talked about cosplaying and the charity and the fundraising. It was perfect for a noontime special events. Now, if you do noontime as well, like we did, put some entertainment into it. Think about how you want to have people relax on the lunch hour. You don't want to just educate. You don't want to bore them. But you want to make this something that's informational, fun. Give them a laugh. Give them something they can enjoy and go, wow. Not only did I learn something today, I had a great time at lunch with those guys who are streaming that content. Think about how your content works for me. So, again, everyone's got your plus and minuses, but work on the information and entertainment. Noon to 1 would be a great place. Plus, if you do it at noon and 1, you can always tease it up. Well, there'll be a replay tonight, same day, same channel. That's why I love Restream. I could do that instantly. I could turn this around. This show right now at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I could turn it around and replay it at 2:30, at 2:20. That's the power of replay. So if you do a noontime one, just replay it and do it again. You don't have to go over it all again live if you don't want to. Do the replay and keep it on the very same day. Now, evening hours. Evenings from 7 to 9 p.m. Now, it's very popular for virtual events. It's becoming the new TV, especially with the writer's strike and the director's strike, the actor strike, all the things going on in Hollywood. If your life is like mine, you're tired of reruns. You've seen the same episodes over and over again already during the regular season. Now you're into reruns upon reruns, and the summer is getting long. That's 7 to 9 o'clock, you on primetime TV. Primetime TV is always a great time to slide in. Do not do it. Now, this goes back to other analytics. Think about this for a second. This is bonus material here. Do not do it on Monday night. Monday night, you're back to work, you're dead, you're still climbing out, you get home, and the first thing you're thinking is, I got 4 more days to get this. And a lot of people are not ready to do more learning on Mondays. Also, Monday Night Football, Monday Night Baseball, a lot of heavy activity on that. Plus, retail usually is very light on Monday. So if you're trying to reach the retail, it might be a good day to reach in, give them some good stuff. But Mondays, typically not. Fridays, of course, everyone's running out, heading for the hills, camping, hiking, football, basketball, baseball. It's crazy on Friday. And you want to take your sweetheart out to have a good meal. Tuesdays and Thursdays are the most optimal days to do these type of events we're talking about. And now do it on Tuesday and Thursday at 7 or 9 o'clock. So think about this. It's the most popular window of time because we've been trained with TV that this is when prime time, this is when the best stuff takes place. So leverage yourself based on the training habits of what we already have in our media mindset. Growing up, Magnum PI, Simon and Simon were back-to-back Thursday nights. For years, Magnum PI was number 1 on CBS, and it ruled the ratings for years and years. Tuesday night, it was MASH and CBS. Figure out where the best time zone is and rule it. I picked 2 p.m. Eastern time because strategically, during these minutes that I get with you every day, I'm reaching the middle of the world at optimal times on the clock all over the world. And at times, I do get live feedback from people from around the world. Definitely the replays. I have a lot of people watching and listening right now that just are at work. They're not able to type in the chat. They're not able to participate. But afterwards, the comments come. So figure out when your best reach time. When is the most optimal time? But you have to think about your customers, your clients, the people you serve. And as a sub note on that, you do have to think about when you are most optimally primed with your energy, your focus to do your events. Later on today, I'm going to be doing another one. Nancy Geary and I will be joined back together, streaming right here. Nancy's got a special event coming up. I am collaborating with her on part of it. I'll be producing it for her so she can focus on the camera, focus on the stage. But we picked the optimal time because she's on the West Coast. It's a different time zone for what she wants to do, but we'll be back here again. She knows her audience extremely well. She's cast a great net. She has a great lead funnel, a super email list. She's got all of those things. Now it's when do you do the show? So she's picked Tuesday night, later on the afternoon for us on the East Coast, prime time for her on the West Coast. She's thought it through very well. Trial and error. This will take practice. So learning the most optimal time for you, your content, for the things you want to share, this will take a little bit of practice. Do some beta testing. Do a preview session. I've got one of those coming up with another client. We're going to be doing a preview session. We want to test the waters, see what's best for them in the market. Look at the reviews, look at the comments, look at the optics on that. See how it came back on that time of day, and don't settle on it right away. Go to another time and maybe another day, do it again, and see how that one reflects. Ask survey questions of your committed people to who you reach with and interact with. What days do you like the best? How can I best serve you and help you? When would you like to see a show like this? And would you participate? Test the waters, do your research, and figure out when the best time of day is for you for your virtual and streaming events. Fine tune it. Fine tune it. And again, raise engagement every day. You see, every day I've got people dropping in. They're making notes. They're having a good time. Aaron's hanging out here today. And what time is prime time? Aaron wants to know. So he's dropping the chat, playing along with us. Prime time is 7 o'clock in the evening to 9 o'clock in the evening. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. No matter what time zone you're in, that's always going to be the optimal time, except if you have local news crashing in because they want to hog the airways. It's typically before right after the young kids go to bed, and when the older ones are going to hit the bed by 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock was always late night TV, the talk shows, the late night, or maybe some more aggressive shows that the younger children should not be watching at 9 o'clock. So think about 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time you zone. That's going to be some of the most optimal time for you to do it during the evening. Again, my recommendations are mornings if you're looking for that morning crew. If this is where your people hang out, you know they're fresh. You know, if you're doing an exercise group, get them in the morning. Make them come to you and participate with your virtual workout for a morning exercise routine. If you're more of the lunch bunch, if you're kind of maybe that corporate office people that you know they're going to take the break, they've got 20 minutes that you can get in with them, do like I do, a 15-minute show every day or whenever you're going to do it. And drop in and share it. And then, of course, figure out if nighttime is right time for you. A lot of people are doing weekends, and I'm not recommending that one. Weekends are becoming more and more about family and getaway, especially since pandemic. We have learned the value of family again, and I'm so thrilled with that. We have found that the weekends return us back to what we had during the pandemic. There's no clock. There's no late night school bell, and the weekend is becoming more of let's go do the fun things we used to do. Now, if you have some class that you know will work on the weekends, go for it. But more and more weekends are for replaying and reviewing maybe, but not for high engagement. Think about what you're looking for. Are you looking for viewers? Are you looking for clicks? Are you looking for the engagement? Joe. Welcome, Joe. I have a lunchtime learn session. Look at that, Joe. Right there. And does it work for you, Joe? Does it go well for you? By the way, is 2 p.m. part of that lunchtime tradition for you, Joe? See, the lunchtime groups do work, and I know it's easy to promote it. In fact, what we have coming up with Nancy tonight on my time zone later on in the afternoon, Nancy Geary is doing a noontime with Nancy for her time zone. We intentionally played off her name, and we also grabbed the noontime. So you're going to want to check out that later on this afternoon. Nancy, Gary, and I will be back here once again. And here we go. Aaron, you're going to bed at 9 p.m., Aaron. Smart man. Smart man. Get good rest. Eat all your veggies and stay healthy. And that's going to do it for today on the Trigger. Rich Bontrager. Thanks for dropping in here today. Don't forget, if you ever have questions, this is one of the most frequently asked questions I get every day, every client, everything I've got booked. They always ask what time, what day and night. What's your question? Drop it in at rich@richbontrager.net. Drop me a note. I'll respond to you live, email, multiple ways, because we want to be of service to you. And of course, if you need to book a call to talk about what you're doing, how you're doing it, maybe to elevate you and your brand authority, get it to the higher level. That's what Rock Stage Media is all about. Hit the QR code. Let's set up a call. Let's get you rocking your stage. Whatever that stage is, you have a stage, you have a classroom, you have an office, you have a product, you have a service. You are important. And leveraging media is one of the greatest things you can learn how to do today, because media now is access for everybody. Book that call. Until tomorrow on the Trigger, Rich Bontrager, we'll see you back here at 2 p.m. live with the Trigger.